So here we are, we're on the south side of Islay. We're just outside the town of Port Ellen. You see some stunning scenery behind us here. Just behind me, over my shoulder there, we've got the remains of Dunyvaig Castle, so it's a truly wonderful spot to be enjoying some whiskey. What we've got here with us is a bottle of Caol Ila, so a distillery almost on the other side of the island, a bit further north. This particular bottle is a distillery exclusive. We've got no information about age or distillation year, but we do know it was bottled in 2018. The makeup of this whiskey is a vatting of refill, first fill Kentucky bourbon barrels, and also specially charred Californian red wine barrels. So we've got a lot of American cask influence coming through from this one. Definitely interested to see what this one comes out like. It's bottled at cask strength. We have 57.4% on this one. And also Caol Ila is a heavily peated whiskey. It's sort of one of the classic Islas in that way. Very well known for its a nice peaty style. So I'm very interested to see how this takes to the selection of casks we have. Oh. Possibly the most unorthodox pouring we've ever. You know, I absolutely hate wasting whiskey, but there's absolutely nothing you can do with this breeze blowing in from the bay behind us here. I won't lick the table, it's a bit odd, but there's enough whiskey in my glass to enjoy. From the colour, it's a nice sort of pale gold, not quite as light as like a straw-like colour you might expect. There is some influence from the red wine casks probably. That's probably accounting for a little bit of a copperish hue. Give this a nose and see what it smells like. Quite an interesting character actually. It's very woody, very oaky. I think that probably, my presumption would be that would come from the specially charred red wine casks. So you're actually getting less influence from the red wine, it's more coming from the charring. The peat comes through. It's, you know, Caol Ila is well known for being a little bit lighter compared to some of its neighbours on the island. It's not as intense as your Laphroaigs, your Ardbegs and so on, but it's definitely, you know, it's there. If you like peaty whiskey, you'll definitely notice it. It's actually surprisingly peppery across the palate. Again, I wonder if that's coming from the charred casks and the peat influence. If I was to try this blind, I might have actually assumed it was closer to a Talisker. There is some sweetness, a slight red berry sweetness, but it's kind of buried beneath that peaty pepperiness I mentioned a second ago. The sweetness comes through a bit more on the finish, but it's a bit more of like a slicker caramel kind of sweetness coming through. Quite sugary, but the peat smoke's still the most prevalent flavour so far. We'll try it with a little bit of water and see how it turns out. On the nose, it's kind of making me think of like a bakery. I'm getting a lot of, well, kind of cakey smells coming through. Definitely like something freshly baked. Maybe something like a lemon drizzle cake. There's a citrusy element, kind of sugary, but it's that sort of freshly baked goods sort of that I'm detecting. See, the peat smoke's there still, but it's just very, very faint in the background. As I said, I'm getting a lot more delicate flavours coming through now. See what it's like on the palate? Delightful. Probably getting more influence from the red wine cask. There's a lot more sort of red berry flavours coming through, and they sit alongside that peat smoke. Neither of them really overshadowing the other. There's a very slight herbal quality, not quite medicinal, but an intangible herby quality to it as well. Yeah, and on the finish, the peat smoke comes back in full force, even with a little bit of water. All in all, it's a remarkable dram. Personally, I'm quite a fan of Caol Ila. This whiskey is just another addition to their already superb repertoire. There are 6,000 bottles of this available. Definitely worth checking out, cracking open and enjoying. Listen, well, I'm going to take this bottle and enjoy a dram with a fantastic view.